So the first one we're going to have a look at is the injury to Beth Mead during the Arsenal versus Ajax Champions League game recently. So I'm going to need my glasses on for this. So, yeah, that's quite a nasty one. That's a head-to-head collision. You can see Beth Mead's on the floor. She's into the recovery position. The players have pulled her into the recovery position now, I think. That's not ideal because really whenever there's a head-to-head collision, there is potential for neck injuries. So you don't really want to be moving the person without the head and neck being stabilised. But intentions are good. But if you are a player, wait for that medical attention to come because they're literally 20 yards away. They're on super, super fast. The Ajax player's up, but it's interesting that she's not being assessed, even though she's up and moving around. Ideally, she would have one of the medical team with her because concussion, you don't necessarily have to be on the floor prostrate. The symptoms of the concussion could come on later. So I would like to have seen somebody with her and making sure that she's okay. So there's the Ajax player there on the sideline. I mean, she looks okay, but we don't know. No one's actually checked her out yet, whereas... Oh, she's been booked for it as well. That is a head-to-head contact. Okay, see there, feeling around the jaw, feeling for any discontinuation in the mandible there. Having a look into the eyes. She's obviously responsive. So they're happy they've checked that. So they're obviously happy they don't have to call an ambulance. She's making her way from the field under her own power, which is good, but she's under supervision. You can see the difference between the Ajax player and the Arsenal player there, where she's been flanked by two medical staff and being directioned and told where to go. So that's really good to see from the Arsenal side of things. I think Ajax have maybe dropped the ball a little bit there. See, I don't like to see that. That's the Arsenal manager there. The Ajax player is apologised. Yeah, and she's quite upset by that reaction. The Ajax players, put a hand out to apologise to Beth Mead about the incident, and the managers told her, to go away. I don't think that's quite necessary.
Make this up. We're going to make this up.
Interestingly, the Arsenal manager is looking to make a substitution there because in the WSL they can do that. They can make substitutions for concussion, but Arsenal have actually used all of their substitutes here, and they're not allowed to make one.
What do you mean we can't?
I don't know why it's different rules for UEFA competitions and different for domestic. I'm not sure, but I certainly think the WSL has got the right idea with these concussion substitutions. And we can see Beth Mead being walked away here. So making sure someone's with her at all times, making sure that things don't deteriorate or change. That's good to see too. She's going to be taken off the field and make sure that they'll do a full concussion protocol on her, I'm sure, in somewhere that's quite quiet, away from all the sort of hustle and bustle of the pitch. I thought that Arsenal dealt with that really, really well. I would have liked to see the Ajax medical team maybe doing a little bit more of what Arsenal did, really checking the player out, maybe removing her from the field of play, because it was quite a heavy head injury. And the Ajax player is actually back on the pitch now and playing, but seems okay now. But we have to watch out with head injuries and concussions that at times, an hour or 2 hours later, maybe longer, maybe shorter, you can start to show some symptoms from it. So best just to withdraw the player from the field of play and check them out fully in the dressing room for any signs of concussion. Because player safety at the end of the day is the most important thing. And it is nice to see that the Arsenal medical team and the coaching team as well have put absolutely no pressure on Beth at all to go back out on the pitch. They've just removed her from play, preferred to play with 10, knowing that they're looking after their player rather than worry about the result of the match. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.